Hi everybody, and welcome back, and welcome to physics. This is Mr. Celona. I'll be teaching CP and Honors Physics this year, as well as AP Physics 1 and AP Physics C. This video is designed for students in CP and Honors Physics. What we're going to talk about in the video is first, required materials for the course, contact information, and extra help. We're going to talk about my expectations for the course, the grading breakdown and categories, and also a little bit about lab guidelines. So for contact information, the best way to get in touch with me is by email, george.celona, there's one L in Celona, at ssdcougars.org. That's probably the best way to get in touch with me. You can also call my phone extension at school, 610-938-6221. Keep in mind that in the beginning of the year, we're all virtual. I won't be in the building every day, so leaving a message on that might not get checked right away. Our class website is going to be the Canvas Classroom page for the course, and our online textbook will be www.physicsclassroom.com. Eventually, students in Honors Physics will also receive a physical textbook, but that's not something we're going to start with at the beginning of the year. Things you need for class. So you need your Chromebook, you need to make sure it's charged and have your charger ready to go. You're going to need a scientific or a graphing calculator. We're going to do a lot of calculations in physics, and you need to make sure that you have a calculator. You need a notebook, you need writing utensils, and then I'm going to strongly suggest that you get the Canvas app for your phone, or Cam Scanner, as it's called, app for uploading PDF files of pictures. So this way, if you're doing work on paper, and you want to just snap a picture of it and upload it, it'll turn it into a PDF and you'll be able to submit it that way. Sometimes that's the easiest way to do work, so I would recommend one of those two options. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Zoom. We're going to be working on Zoom for our virtual school year, and this is basically what my expectations will be unless we talk about something otherwise. So for a typical day, my expectation is for you to log on to Zoom and Canvas when class starts. You should be in by class time. No more than 1 minute grace period is going to be given. And you're going to start the warm-up exercise while I take attendance. Your camera should be on when class starts. Your microphone should be off when class starts. My expectation is that if I'm on camera with the entire group, you need to be on camera as well. If you are not on camera, you are absent. That's problematic. Make sure you're on camera. Use the chat function or raise your hand to stop, ask questions, etc. So if you need to go over something, you need me to revisit something that we talked about, use that chat function and you can chat directly with me, or you can raise your hand and that will come to me and we go from there. We're also going to work independently or in groups. Sometimes when we're doing that, you can turn your camera off or leave Zoom altogether for a while. So depending on what the activity is, I'm not going to expect that you're on camera while you're, reading from a website or something like that. That's not necessary. So when we're doing those sorts of things, you can go off camera, and I'll be clear about that. Most days you're also going to be on camera at the end of the period. So usually we'll do an activity or whatever that's independent or in groups, and then we'll come back at the end of the period back on Zoom. And then the last one, any disruptive behaviors will be dealt with accordingly. That should be pretty obvious. Okay, work expectations and extra help. Students are responsible for all classwork and homework. If you're struggling to keep up with the work, it is your responsibility to reach out. Okay? Late work will not be accepted without prior communication. And even then, just because you email me and say, hey, I didn't get that done in time, that doesn't mean I'm going to take it or grade it. So make sure that you do communicate if there's an issue, you had a problem with technology or something, or didn't really understand something, make sure you reach out and communicate. I'm not going to seek out students to make up work. It is your responsibility. I'm going to be available for extra help at the following times. Feel free to communicate with me at these times for whatever you need. Email, Zoom, or through Canvas are all acceptable ways. So Mondays and Tuesdays, 3 o'clock to 3:30, or by appointment at a different time. Wednesdays and Thursdays is going to be in the morning, 7:30 to 8 a.m., or by appointment. And then on Friday, anytime after 12:30 to 3 o'clock, or by appointment, since the school day is a little bit different on Fridays. Please note that I can be available at other times, but you'll need to communicate with me in advance to schedule something like that. Like, these will be open times, but if you need a different time, you need to communicate that with me in some way ahead of schedule. Okay, just some expectations. So I engage in the classroom activities, all right? That's the way you're going to best learn the material and have the best experience in the class. Follow the school rules and acceptable behavior online. Show up and show up on time. Be open-minded. Turn in all work on time and be proud of it. Don't just turn in something just so you can say, oh, I did it. The whole point of us working together is for you to actually learn something. So be proud of the work that you do. Challenge yourself to turn in the best work that you can. So this will be our grading breakdown for the year. Tests and quarterly exams are going to be 33% of the grade on third. Quizzes will be 12%. Labs and lab reports 25%. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we get to it. Homework, the lowest grade is dropped and it's 10%. Classwork is 10%. And then warm-ups and checks for understanding, lowest grade is dropped on that as well, and it's 10%. Note that this may change, guys, once we get back into school in full swing. This might need to shift a little bit, but I think we'll be good. I think this will work out for us, but we may need to shift it if necessary. Okay, I wanted to talk about lab because we're starting the year virtual. This is a science class. Labs are a critical part of it. So during virtual school, most labs will be demonstrated by me, and you're going to be asked to work with the data. I know that's not ideal, but doing school virtually I wouldn't say is ideal either. So we're going to do the best we can, and I'm going to go through the labs and have you work with the data and try to come to an intelligent conclusion based on it. Sometimes you're going to be asked to do pieces of a formal lab report, and other times you will need to write an entire report. So we'll talk about that when we get there. There are resources available on Canvas, and that, along with the syllabus, are designed to help you do a good job on labs. Follow their lead. Remember, lab's a big part of your grade, so it's not something you want to just kind of brush off. You want to take it very seriously. And seek out my feedback on labs before final submission. Basically, when you're working on a lab, guys, I allow you to do kind of like a draft. So you can work on whatever it is I'm asking you to and turn it in ahead of time. I'll take a look at it. I'll tell you what looks good, what doesn't, what needs some tweaking, and then you can make those changes before turning it in for the final grade. Okay, so that's basically it. If you have any questions about policy, you can shoot me an email, a message in Zoom, or we can discuss. So let's start off strong, have a good year, and I'll see you in class.